The 15th most common question asked by the non-Muslims is, in Islam, why are two women witnesses equal to one man's witness? Indicating that Islam degrades the woman. Let me tell you that the Quran, in no less than 5 places, talks about witnesses without mentioning the gender, whether male or female. Except in one place, the Quran specifies and says that 2 women witnesses is equal to 1 witness of man, and that is in Surah Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 292, which is the longest ayah, longest verse of the Quran. It is the part of the longest surah of the Quran, Surah Baqarah, and the verse number 282 is the longest verse of the Quran. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, O you believe, when you involve in any financial transaction involving future obligation for a fixed period of time, put it down in writing and get 2 men as witnesses amongst yourself. It further goes and says, if you can't find 2 men, then 1 man and 2 women. And it continues, if one of them errs or makes a mistake, the second will correct her. Now this verse of the Quran is exclusively talking about financial transactions and nothing else. Let me give you an example for better understanding. For example, if someone wants to undergo a surgery, maybe a major operation, the best for him would be that he takes the advice of 2 qualified surgeons. It is the best for safety. If he can't find 2 qualified surgeons, at least 1 qualified surgeon, MS or MCH, and 2 MBBS doctors. Because an MBBS doctor cannot do a major surgery. You can't have 4 MBBS doctors and do the surgery. Best would be 2 qualified surgeons who are master of surgery. If you can't find 2 qualified surgeons, master of surgery, at least 1 master of surgery and 2 bachelor of surgery. Similarly, in financial transaction, because in Islam, the financial burden is put on the shoulders of the man in Islam. The woman need not look after any financial burden. In Islam, before a woman is married, it is the duty of the father and the brother. And after she's married, it is the duty of the husband and the son to look after lodging, boarding, clothing, and all financial aspects. So because of this, if it's an Islamic society, a man is more financially aware as compared to a woman. Because of this, in financial transaction, when you take witnesses, take 2 men. If you can't find 2 men, then 1 man and 2 women. Because if one of them errs, the Arabic word is tazil, makes a mistake. Some people translate as if one of them forgets. It's not forget. It is if one of the women makes a mistake, the second will correct her. There are several verses in the Quran which talk about witnesses without mentioning the gender. For example, Quran says in Surah Ma'idah chapter number 5, verse number 106 to 108, that if death approaches you, put the will, the inheritance in writing and take 2 witnesses. The gender is not mentioned. Quran says in Surah Talaq chapter number 65, verse number 2, that when someone gives talaq, take 2 witnesses. The gender is not specified. Should be honest, should be just. Gender is not specified. Quran says in Surah Nur chapter number 24, verse number 4, that if someone lays an allegation against the modesty of a woman, produce 4 witnesses, otherwise 80 lashes. 4 witnesses doesn't specify the gender, whether it's male or female. If you cannot get 4 witnesses, and if you make an allegation against the modesty of a woman, 80 lashes. And one verse of the Quran is explicitly clear, which equates 1 male and 1 female. In Surah Nur chapter number 24, verse number 6 says that if someone lays allegation against the spouse, or the husband lays allegation against the wife, and he does not have any evidences, no witnesses, his solitary evidence is sufficient, and he has to take oath 4 times in the name of Allah, and 5th time pronounce a curse on him if he is lying. Immediately the next verse, after verse number 6 and 7 of Surah Nur, Surah Nur chapter 24 verse number 8 says, but if the wife, if she also does not have any witnesses, she too can be a solitary evidence by taking oath 4 times. And the 5th one being a curse on herself if she's dying. So here, it is clearly mentioned in the Quran that 1 female is equal to 1 male. So based on this, most of the fuqahas and the jurists, they agree that only in cases of financial transaction, witnesses of 2 women is equal to 1 man. And some jurists say that in cases of murder, where the nature of the female may be difficult for her to give evidence, maybe 2 women is equal to 1 man. But all the other cases, 1 woman is equal to 1 man witness. For example, in the starting of the month of Ramadan, in the sighting of moon, you require 1 witness. In the ending of Ramadan, you require 2 witnesses. It does not make a difference whether it's a male or a female. Only in some country it has to be a man, should have a beard of the standard fist, then only can you take the witness. And I have one more strong argument, that the beloved wife of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hazrat Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, radhiyallahu anha, she has narrated no less than 2,210 ahadith. 2,210 ahadith. And she was the only witness. So 2,210 say hadith, which are basis of the Sharia, is a witness only of 1 woman. She was the wife of the Prophet. Hazrat Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her. So this clearly indicates that 1 witness of woman is equal to 1 witness of man. There are cases in which, how in financial transaction men is preferred to women, there are certain cases in which woman witness is taken, men's witness is not taken. For example, while giving the burial bath of a female Muslimah, witness should be a woman. A man cannot be a witness. Unless in certain conditions where it's a forest and there are no human beings, then the husband can be. But otherwise, generally, for the burial bath, for the janaza ghusl of a woman, the witness is accepted of a woman, not of a man.